Oh man, good to see you, man. Hadn't seen you since you were a youngster.
Say knee high to a duck, huh?
Knee high to a duck, man. That's the last time I saw you. But I tell you what, I'm impressed to be talking to you because I like what you're doing down there. You're concerned about. It seems like you're concerned about the city itself, West Point, place where you were born and raised, right?
Absolutely.
And you went to school. What school did you go to, Ra?
I went to all 12 years of public school, graduated from West Point High School. Um, you know,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, went on from there
Mhm.
to Jackson State University and eventually migrated back to Mississippi State where I finished with a business degree.
Oh, very good. I'm very much proud of you, man. I went to school down there too. I went to a school called Fifth Street High. I don't know if you ever heard of that before.
The Fifth Street Bombers, the Fifth Street Bombers. I know all about it.
Yeah, okay. I know your mom and your daddy told you about it,
Oh
but
yeah,
you,
oh yeah.
but no, we had a great time down there. But I wanted to dig into what's happening. I got the word that there was a young man running for mayor of West Point, and they gave me your name, Bobo.
Mhm.
And I said, I know this young man. You know, I knew him when he was a kid. And you mean he's running for mayor? Yeah. And they gave me a lot of good stuff about you, you know. And I want to know what possessed you to step up and do the things you're doing. Say with West Point, where do you plan to take it? Where is it at right now, as far as say the economics of West Point? Let's start with that. How is the economics and um most of the cities, even large and small, we got poverty all across the country. I don't know what's happening with West Point now because I haven't been back. I'm coming back, but I haven't been back in a while.
Mhm.
So let me know where you're at with the the economy in West Point. What's happening there?
Sure, sure. So let me digress just a minute. My I cut my teeth, so to speak, in politics back in 2009. I actually ran a successful bid for a city council seat. I won and I served from '09 until 2013. And to be perfectly honest with you, some of the things that I observed while serving, they just didn't sit well with my spirit. I got acclimated to the political process, and I got acclimated to, how certain individuals want to see this city run, and it's kind of a good old boy network, a buddy buddy type system, and I just wasn't satisfied with that. I did not rerun in 2013 because I started a business that the two were kind of colliding at the time. So fast forward to now, 2021, I'm running for the CEO seat of the city. Now, you mentioned the economic plight of the city right now. Just to give you a little background, this city used to be known for Bryan Foods. I know you're familiar with it.
Very
That was
much.
the biggest employer in the area, not just West Point. They shut down, I think, in 2005, and it wreaked havoc on the local economy. And we've been struggling to recover ever since. Problem with that was the majority of the workforce was geared toward meat cutting, not very skilled, personnel, not very high educated, I would say, workforce, and it kind of left the city handicapped. So here we are now in this age where everything's automated, and we're starting to get some jobs to come in, but the problem that we're having is a lot of the workforce is not skilled and not educated. So one of the problems that I identified, as a candidate for mayor, is how do we include these people into the mainstream? How do we, get these people that are not educationally inclined? How do we get them ready to where they can, pass these work keys tests and get the jobs that are coming? The old school jobs are not coming back. No longer are people working with knives and cutting meat. It's mostly all automated now. So to answer your question, we're kind of on the upswing economically. However, with the jobs that are coming in, the city of West Point still has a 28.3% poverty rate. And my
Mm.
research indicates that the national average of, cities this size, rural cities, the national average is 16.4%. That's a very alarming
Okay.
statistic to
That's
me.
high. Yeah.
It's very,
That 28, 28.
it's very high.
Mm-hmm.
We are a 62% African American city, so I can't help but to think that the majority of that 28.3% poverty rate is something that affects mostly people that look like me. And that's a very alarming statistic to me, Jerry, to be perfectly honest with you. And that's one of the things that has really jolted me back on the political scene, because it doesn't have to be that way. We got to figure out a way to get our folks ready for these jobs that are coming, and just change the paradigm. We need to change the way people are thinking, and it starts at the top.
I'm glad you're taking that approach, because I watch, and I've been into politics all my life, and everybody knows that that's what I live. And say, for instance, people in Kentucky and places like that worked in the coal mines, and you couldn't get them to understand that there are changes coming. And you want to be able to train these people. If you had the opportunity, you train them ahead of time that they're going to have to move into an area where they'll be able to be employed. The coals, there's not going to be coals after a while. Unfortunately, in West Point, you had the same situation, except meat will be around a while, but the persons that had the plants moved out, just up and left, and leave a bunch of people, without jobs. And you talk about Bryan Brothers. My mother, my father worked there. My father's people worked there. Your grandmother worked there. Everybody in West Point was working at Bryan Brothers. But I'm happy to see a young person comes in that understands that this don't last forever, and you got to protect your people. Now, when I say your people, I'm talking black and white. You got to protect. You got to protect your people and make sure that they'll have a decent living. And what you're doing is a great thing. Have you thought about the kind of jobs that you can bring to a city like West Point? Have you guys, have you just been thinking about what kind of job? I know you can bring tech jobs there, but other jobs that some of the people may be able to do.
Sure, that's a great question. I met with the economic development team on last week just to get somewhat of a briefing of what they've been working on and what was kind of headed this way. And as I alluded to earlier, Yokohama is like the biggest employer here now. We've had a company, Pico's Food, which is a chicken processing plant. They have announced they're here. I think it's somewhere upwards of 350, 400 jobs when the total deal is done. And that'll just be a chicken nugget type plant. I think they're just processing chicken nuggets, packing them and shipping them out from that operation. Right. So we'll be able to catch some of that old Bryan Foods clientele. Some of that skill set will be perfect for this type job. However, I also talked with them. There are several solar plants and solar setups that are looking to come here, and these deals are pretty far along. So these are things that could come to fruition pretty quick. As well as another Asian. All I know about it is it's an Asian company. I think they narrowed it down to West Point and another facility to locate their plant here. But I envision it being something along the lines of Yokohama Tire, some kind of supplier maybe of theirs. So the jobs, to answer your question, that are coming, and most of these plants, as you well know, are automated. So if you can't read gauges, you can't read tape measures, you can't, if you can't operate machinery, then you're gonna be lost in the sauce. So what do we do about that? We have a junior college here, EMCC, East Mississippi Community College, and there are grants in place where if you are a resident of Clay County, which West Point sits in Clay County, then you go there free of charge. So we got to get that message out to our youth. Hey, Go get you a 2-year skill set. If you haven't graduated high school, let's walk you through the process of getting your GED, and then get you in some kind of skilled program at this junior college where you can go absolutely free. It's that's something that's already in place, but I don't think that is being touted enough, is not advertised enough, and I'm not sure that that may not be strategic. If the programs are there and we're not taking advantage of them, then I have to ask, what are we doing? So those are the type jobs that are coming. The low skilled jobs, I just don't see that coming back in the future. And along those lines, Jerry, I've talked to a group who have interest in bringing a business incubator here as well, for those who have entrepreneurial aspirations. A lot of times people start, minorities especially, start small businesses without much guidance. They don't know about business planning. They haven't projected revenues versus expenditures, all the things that you would do when you start a small business. And I have some ideas on the table with this business incubator to put it in place, bring these entrepreneurs in, give them a 2-3 year head start, train them, show them how to do business planning, how to efficiently and effectively launch their business, for those who would like to be their own boss. So several ideas. I've talked to some area contractors, because another area that I've identified is that everybody's not cut out for college and everybody's not cut out for factory work. There are a lot of young men and young women that are good with their hands. And as you well know, there will always be a market for carpenters and painters and electricians, roofers and things of that nature. And there are youngsters that are good at that skill. They only need to be taken in and taken under somebody's wing and just shown how to turn that skill set into a business.
Yeah, turn them into apprentices and teach them. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you're on the right track. That's one of the things that I've watched all my life. What you're talking about right now is what it actually works. Not just where I've been, the different cities and stuff I've been. I've been all over the country. It works if you do it, if you can get people to do it. I don't think you'll have a problem if you can bring the jobs in. I think you will not have a problem getting the people to work. Main thing I heard you say a minute ago was educating people, educate the people that had jobs already about the possibilities of being maybe apprentices, and teaching them how everybody, like you say, don't work, college is not for everybody. Some people like to work with their hands. Then there are people that colleges are for. And I heard that, I know that people in your party is talking about doing college things to attract, people that would give out these college scholarships to these kids coming out of school. You want to catch them early. Catch them early. You want to do all you can for the ones that's here. That's what I'm hearing from you. And then catch these kids early to try to make sure they have an opportunity to go to college. They don't have to go. If you want to, it's there for you. That's one of the things that I think I'm picking up that you were saying.
Absolutely. And you raise a very interesting point. Our population currently is about 10,200 and some odd people, which is almost a 10% decline from 2010 when the last census was done. Okay, so what does that tell me? What that tells me is that we have very bright students that are coming through the K through 12 system. They're getting their college degrees and they're migrating off to other places. I would have to assume that they're migrating off to other places because there is lack of opportunity here for them. So when you're looking at a decline in population, you have to identify what's causing your people to migrate off. And I think that that's one thing that's causing our best and brightest youth to go other places, is because they just simply can't see a way to make a living and raise a family here in their hometown. And that's problematic as well.
How's the relationship down there with everyone? It's things that people are afraid to talk about. I'm not, and that is a black-white relationship down in West Point. I can tell you this, it's way better than it was when I was down there.
Yeah.
and I came back down. I saw you guys. You're talking like human beings with each other. I'm talking about black and white and stuff. You still got certain patches, situations, but people are talking like, yeah. And have you talked to some of the white Caucasian people about what their problems are? I know being in the neighborhood, you know what's going on with African Americans. Have you talked with, some of the other people down there that
Sure, and that's the type of person that I am, and that's the type of mayor that I plan on being. Is I reach across different aisles because you either live together, appears together as fools. You know that. So I've talked to a lot of the Caucasian community, and the general consensus that I get from them, their main concern is keeping taxes low and keeping utility rates, all the things that are conducive to industry, wanting to come in. The police department is a concern of a lot of the people in the white community as well as the black community. We've had a rash of random shootings in this city, just random gunfire, not so much actually somebody getting shot, but just people firing weapons and scaring people. We've had some shootings where people actually got shot. So, but to answer your questions, the biggest concern I see from the white community is keeping taxes low, keeping an atmosphere that's conducive to economic development, and the police department.
Oh, well, that's fantastic, man. And knowing that you do that is great. Um, but let's talk about some of the things that I want to go back a little bit, family wise, with you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a brother, right?
I do.
I remember it was two of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I know your mom and your uncle and your aunties and all those people, But your father is a Bobo, and I knew all the Bobos. So tell me what your father's name is, if you don't mind.
No, Bobby. Bobby is my father.
Bobby. Okay, all right, Bobby. Yeah, I knew Bobby. It's wonderful. I love the idea that you young people are stepping up and doing what you got to do. But now tell me, how do people get to you? See if a person wants to support you financially or just support you with ideas. How would how we reach you?
Okay, great. So I have several different avenues set up by where people can contribute to my cause, our cause. One is obviously a check through mail. My PO box is PO Box 1664, West Point, Mississippi 39773. Checks made out to Rod Bobo for mayor. I also have a PayPal account set up, and it's simply Rod Bobo, the number 4, mayor @gmail.com. And also a Cash App, which is $ Rod Bobo, the number 4, mayor. I also have a website generated, and you can link to either one of these sites to give from the website. And the website is www.rodbobo4mayor.com. I have Facebook, I have Instagram, and it's all, you just type in Rod Bobo for mayor and the pages will pull up.
How do you feel? How do you feel about the election? How do you feel?
I'm energized, man. I wish the election was in the morning so I can get to work.
you got foot soldiers and everything. You got everything. Yeah, you need, but you can always use more.
We absolutely could use more. We're not turning anybody around. If somebody wants to volunteer and believes in the vision that I'm putting forth, by all means, join the team and we'll find something for you to do.
Love what you're doing, man. Love what your whole group is doing. When we were down there, we had to go through a bunch of stuff. We had to, riot, but march and, and make a noise when I was a teenager. And, we had a lot of things happen. One of my best friends was murdered down there. His name was Henry McFarland. I don't know if you know that family. And Henry was, he was murdered. And because of what we did, fighting. And to come back and see you guys now, using all the technology that you have, all the intelligence that you have, doing the things that you're doing now in West Point, uh, makes me happy because I love that. I love that. I love that city, West Point. I want to see you do well. I know a lot of other people want to see you do. And anybody that's watched my shows, and you got a lot of Mississippi people do,
Mm-hmm.
check into uh, Rod Bobo's website. You know, if he needs any help, step out there and help him. I know I will, and I know other people will. So I like what you're doing, brother. Anything else you want to say about your campaign?
Well, not so much about the campaign. I do want to take the opportunity, Brother Williams, to thank you first of all for sharing your platform with me. It was a pleasure and an honor to be on with you. And let me also, you mentioned, the groundwork that you and a lot of people like you, men and women, have done just in this area. I want to say I was always taught to give a person their flowers while they live. I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you for being a trailblazer, and everybody like you, and that all paves the way for days like we're having right now.
Hey, I tell you what, God bless you, and we want you good luck. Anything you need that we can do to help, let us know, and I'll let the rest of the West Pointites know that I know to step up and do some things for you. But hey, stay strong. I believe you're going to step up and do what you got to do.
Thank you, brother.
And you see what's happening with this young man. Anything that you can do, even if you live down there, get out and vote for this young man, Rod Bobo. I'm really impressed with him. All the things that he's doing is so beautiful. You all don't know what a glorious thing it is. Like I said before, I had a friend. His name was Henry McFarland. Not just him, but a bunch of us young people. When I was 16 years old, we were all 16. We were out signing people up to vote and stuff. They murdered him. They murdered him. He was about close to 7 feet tall. They murdered him. They locked me up in jail twice. They locked up a lot of other people. But coming back, I saw how they have progressed, and he's on the road of becoming mayor of West Point, Mississippi. I'm in love with that. So get out, and his information will show up on the screen, and do all you can to help him. You know, what I would like to do now is I want to go to sports. Let's go to sports, y'all. My advice to bowlers, with sports, when we do sports, we do regular, stuff that we do. We don't basketball, the news carries that. But with bowlers, my advice, be careful. Be careful out there, because a lot of people that I know are gone because they didn't do what they're supposed to do. Now, my wife and I don't plan to bowl this year. I mean, because it's really not necessary. But I'm not telling you what to do. You know what to do yourself. But just be careful if you do bowl. We're going to take the year off and give ourselves the opportunity to reevaluate bowling altogether, because we play a lot of golf. And do we want to go back and bowl? We love it, but is it necessary? So we're gonna take the year off and do that. And I just want to say, whatever you all do, be careful. Make sure that you follow whatever the scientists say, about the virus when you're talking about bowling. Okay? Now, in golf, I want you to take a look at this putt right here. Tell me, you golfers, tell me, have you ever seen anything like that? I did it one time. People told me I was crazy. I saw it happen to me. And they said, no, man, you didn't put it in the hole. Take a look at it and you'll see what I'm talking about.
And this is no laughing matter.
Really shouldn't miss it anywhere, but gosh, it's so close to that water on the left.
Oh my.
What was that?
What happened? It hit the cup liner. Somehow it didn't go in.
Have you?
Okay, we're back. Listen, now I want to give you more positive things in life. Just little bitty things I run across that I like to see. And here is a shot of Serena and her baby, Olympia. Beautiful. Beautiful young lady out of Compton. And she's a multi-millionaire now. Thanks to her daddy, who believed in her, and her sister. Beautiful. Now this next shot is Nat King Cole and Gladys Knight at 6 years old. That's right, I said Gladys Knight at 6 years old. She was singing back then. I wondered how she made that song. She had, and when she was, I think about 14, 15. And you all, anybody around my age, you know what it was called. Letter Full of Tears. Man, I used to be singing that thing. I was a little dude. I was singing that, man. I loved that song. And they told me it was a girl 16 years old made that. Freaked me out. Freaked me out. But it just shows you how fate is. He just a little 6-year-old girl, bam, met with Nat King Cole and another little young lady. I had that thing on my show with her. Now she's the big dog around here. Calls herself Her. When I had that on my show, she was about 11 years old. I never knew she would be. Yes, I did, because she sung too good. I knew she was going to be a star. Okay? But that's positive. First black cops in West Point, Mississippi. The one that the young man was just talking about, because I grew up in West Point. I came back down there from Chicago when I was a teenager. And they had no black cops there. But while we were protesting and fighting and doing everything we had to do, they went on and hired some black cops. Now, keep in mind, Early Moe and those guys, they know who they are. Keep in mind, they hired black cops, but at that time, the black cop could not arrest a white man. They could hold him till the white cops come, but you can't arrest a white man. But we had black cops. We got the black cops in. Now they can arrest white, brown, any color, Okay? That was funny. That was fun. And finally, black cowboys. You hear me talk about that all the time. In the movies, you never see a black cowboy. But that's where cowboy came from. Black African-American people. They used to call these boys cowboys, and they would ride. They did all the riding range, on the range, roping cattle, doing all that stuff. That was them. But they were shut out of history. Okay? When they had horse races way back, all your jockeys were black. Do your history on it. Do your study on it. You'll see they were black. But when they started paying a lot of money to the jockeys, all of a sudden blacks were gone. They were out. They're out. They were out. We'll keep moving right along. Coalition members. I save you for last all the time because we're going to wrap this thing up. You all, our attorneys, I spoke with our attorneys. And our attorneys, along with CTA's attorneys, met with the judge on March 8th. And CTA basically asked for another extension, and the judge really kind of laid it on him. He's like, we're not going to keep going through this. I like this judge because this is a new judge, because he seems to be a no-nonsense guy. And he's telling them that, you got to do this. He's giving them time, because he said he don't want to come back here again and have to do this again. Everybody knows, and this is no lie, CTA know they're going to have to pay us, folks. They know they're going to have to pay us. The Supreme Court, when they ruled that we were covered under the Constitution, that means the CTA and whoever else did it violated the Constitution. Now what they're trying to do is do all they can, hope somebody dies, but I demanded on this lawsuit that you got to pay the family of the people, and you got to pay the interest, you got to do all that. So, I don't know why they dragged. Then they were fighting each other. But that's their thing. Just not too much that they can continue to do. Okay? The judge seems like he's going to, put the hammer down to him. He took those briefs from him, and I think he's going to give a date that he's going to tell them, you got to get this done. And I believe that it's going to be done. And I don't want to tell you this year because you'll be like, Jerry, what'd you say? No, I'm not going to do that. What I tell people, though, and I know you get frustrated, and I get frustrated. It's been a long time. But I'm not going to step away because we're talking huge money. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking huge money. I'm not going to step away from it. I had one brother come up to you and say, hey, man, hey, Jerry, where's our money, man? Because you know where. And I said, man, sit down. Sit down. Let me say this to you. If I had not filed the lawsuit, what would you be? We didn't even talk about this, right? Well, yeah, it's okay. Just be cool. We're going to get it. Just relax. He said, okay. You know, I didn't mean to. I swear I know you didn't, man. I don't think that you would do anything like that, you know. But I think that we're going to be okay. You know, the Supreme Court ruled way back in 2016 now. And CTA has been dragging ever since then. And we've had some unfortunate things happen. Number one, the judge we had before, he's gone. He moved up to another position. I think he's got an appellate court job. Right when we supposed to have been got this thing done last year. And then last year around February. Then what happened? COVID virus. There was nobody in the courts. Nobody's doing anything. Can't do anything. In between that, changed judges. Okay? That's where we are now. But I'm not discouraged because I know the longer they keep it, the more money we should get because they are investing that money. Okay? We know what's in there. We brought in actuaries. We told, we had some of the best actuaries come in and do their due diligence on that money. We know what's there and what's not there and how to do it. So all that's coming to fruition. Just be patient. Just be patient. Okay? Now you know what we're finna do. We're finna go into the soul mode. So sit back, kick your heels up, relax. Here we go. We're going to see you next week. Y'all do what you're supposed to do. Now make sure you wash your hands. Continue to do what you got to do. Me, I got my shots. I'm cool. But I still put the mask on when I'm going around people because the scientists say I can carry that stuff and give it to somebody else. I don't want to do that. If all I have to do is wear a mask, make sure that don't happen, I'll do that. Also, I wash my hands. Also, I use gloves. I continue to do what I was doing. Y'all do the same thing. We almost there. We're almost there. Some damn fools in Texas, not so much the people. I'm talking about the clown legislators they got. And the ones in Mississippi and other states like that, you know, all you people that look at this show, make sure you do everything you're supposed to do. We're going to see you next week. Enjoy the soul.
Spark of magic in your eye. Candyland appears each time you smile. Never thought that fairy tales came true, but they come true when I'm near you. You're a genie in disguise. If I could, I'd catch a falling star to shine